right, Chairman Nelson, it's 5 o'clock. If you want to start the meeting, it looks like everyone's here that is able to attend. You're on mute right now. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Bring the meeting to order. Would you like to do roll call?
Yes. Chairman Nelson?
Here.
Vice Chairman Short?
Here.
Director Erler?
Here.
Director Kelly?
Here.
I heard him yell here from the room, so.
He needs to unmute. You need to unmute it.
I'm trying.
And Director Gregorio is not with us today.
Now I'm here.
Okay,
There you are.
so we have 4 out of the 5 board members here. Okay.
Okay, Rick, would you like to do the flag salute?
Yep. Ready? Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with justice for all.
Okay. Public participation. Do we have anyone out there that would like to address the board?
I'm just gonna share the screen briefly, so anyone that needs to call in has the phone number,
Hello?
and then we'll go to public comment. So let me see. We're not doing it as a webinar, so we have our public participants. It looks like we have Ms. Sutter, Mr. Barnes, and 2 of our firefighters. So Linda, if you would like to do, if you have public comment, if you would like to go ahead, you can now.
First off, I'd like to say you guys are really echoey right now. I don't know why. Second thing is that when you post your agenda, you need to have the supporting documents available for the public to review, and there were no public documents available other than the agenda itself. So there's no way that the public can view the budget. And I don't know why that is, but it needs to change.
Okay, so Mr. Burns, if you want to have your turn at public comment, you can unmute now.
Sure. Can you hear me now or?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Can I make comments that would be relative to the vote that we just had? Would that be pertinent at this time or not?
That's not on our agenda, so if that's something you want to talk about, you can do it now because it won't be brought up at any point during the agenda.
I'll just make a general comment. As you all know, this is extremely confusing to not only the public, but I'm sure it's confusing to the fire district also. A lot of controversy. I've been involved in this pretty extensively with the auditing procedure, as well as going through and looking at the vote and the weighting of the votes and the cap, et cetera. The only thing that I would say is that you're exposed. I would just tell you to, in common sense, you should disregard this and you should redo it. You've got 2.5 years of reserves. You have a chance to do this correctly. You don't have to try to do it with all the controversy that you have going, whether it's voted down or whether it's not approved. It just wasn't correct. I'm positive that this is going to be challenged legally. And my recommendation would be that postpone this. Get a committee with the public involved, put it together, put the weighting together correctly, then put it out to vote. Also make sure that everybody that's an eligible voter receives their ballots. There were quite a few people that didn't even receive ballots. They're pretty upset about it. They're going to enter objections to this whole process. So without getting into a lot of detail, and plus the margins of either winning or losing are 0.0001%. They're minuscule. they're within the margin of error. So what I'm asking and what I'm suggesting is postpone this, do it correctly so that we can have some faith. You know, we all recognize that we need the fire district. We all want you to have what you need. You're important to the community here, but you're doing this without any public input at all. You're doing it on your own. And I, for one, object to that process, and I object to the waiting. I object to the way it was handled. I object to the chain of custody. There are several legal grounds that you're exposed on. So without repeating myself, I would just say, look, I think it'd be in your best interest and our best interest to step back, get the public involved, assess what your real needs are, put a real representative ballot together, get it out to the public, and just redo this. That's the only comments that I really have to say. Thank you. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, and I apologize, you should have had 5 minutes up there for public comment, so if you need to continue, you can. If you are done though, then we can move on, so.
No, I don't need to continue. I've made my point, and I really appreciate you giving me a chance to speak at this meeting. Again, thank you.
Thank you.
You bet.
All right, so it looks like that is all we have for public comment at this time.
Okay, if there's no other public participation, we move on to item 3. Item 3.1, consider and adopt preliminary budget FY 2021. You want to talk about that, Chief, or?
Yeah, we've, in your budget package, you've got a preliminary budget. And this isn't the full budget adoption yet. This is the preliminary budget to introduce it. This also gets a preliminary budget or preliminary budget plan so that it can make it over to the county so that the initial expenditures that are going to come up between now and when the budget is fully adopted and ratified, it'll give the ability to be able to continue business and pay our bills between now and then. As you can see up on you've got it in your packet and you've got it, should have it on your screen. I'm not going to go line by line, but as you can see, most of the costs are fairly consistent with last year's adopted budget. We do have under line 20,180 maintenance and structural improvements. We went from 10,000. That does show that is a correct number at $100,000. We are in vital need to get the roof redone on Washington Station. We battled leaks all winter. Even with repairs, we battled leaks. We've also found a portion in part of the hip roof that we do believe the sheeting and the rafter tails are beginning to rot. So it's vital that we maintain the building. Going down through the other portions, professional services is down quite a bit from last time. That's under the 2230 line. Part of what that reduction is we don't have the consultant fees included anymore with that for an assessment and for engineering studies. So the money came out of that. Professional services city is up a little bit from the budget last year. And where that is, where we're in a preliminary point of having passed the assessment, that's some joint equipment that was items identified through the master plan. Some of the equipment replacement that we've been putting off to be able to replace some of the saws on some of the apparatus, a number of other small tool purchases, to be able to pick that piece back up. There's also some money there toward recruitment, to try and build a recruitment and retention program to be able to recruit more volunteers and keep that piece moving forward. If we continue to scroll down to the next page, we're fairly consistent across the board through this page. We've actually got a couple of reductions in there. Utilities for our propane and our copier lease that we had changed previously. Those are down a little bit with negotiated contracts that we have in place. As we continue down through, we pop onto I think we're coming toward the final page, and these stay fairly consistent. The items in blue are the revenue side. And so where we find ourselves this year, right now, we do have a projected deficit of just over $13,000. But with that is a large expenditure for the roof on this building.
Have we got bids on that yet?
We're just starting into that process to be able to get that.
Will that be sealed bids then, or what?
We will be going out to the contractors that work in this area. We'll go through and we'll receive a project quote from each one of them, and then we'll bring those back to the board for ratification and decision with a recommendation.
Okay.
And if I could just add, we don't have the department allotment total is not on there. We won't get that until later in the fall when we finish receiving revenue. So that amount won't be in there. And as far as the revenue goes, we don't know what the outcome until the board has their meeting on July 12th. I just didn't want to put any income that we may be getting from this last benefit assessment that we just passed. So that is not included in the revenue.
Right. And to tie on with what Vanessa was saying as well, we've got work in-house still to do, working with the assessor to be able to get the newest benefit assessment if it's ratified, and to work with them to get it on the tax roll. And so we don't know fully the anticipation. If we were able to make the December tax bill that goes out, we possibly could see some income or some revenue from that with toward the start of the final quarter of the fiscal year.
Okay.
Is this question period or what?
Vanessa?
Chairman Nelson, if you'd like to open it for public comment before board discussion, we can do so now.
Yes, if there's any public comment, now is the time to speak.
Okay. Linda, since you showed interest first, if you want to go ahead and say your public comment, that's limited to 3 minutes.
I'm sorry?
I said if you want to go ahead and have your public commenting period with 3 minutes, you're allowed to speak now if you'd wish.
Well, just a minute ago, you said it was 5 minutes. Now you're saying it's 3 minutes. So which is it?
It's 5 minutes and it's 3 minutes for any agendized item. So 5 minutes for public comment at the beginning and 3 minutes for any agendized item.
Okay, well, this is, because you don't provide the documents to the public, and this is the first time I'm seeing them. You really need to take some time out and explain some things, okay? Because this is an important thing. I don't see, what is your total budget for prediction for this annual year? Anybody want to answer that question? Because you didn't provide that to the public, and that's valuable. I could have the cease and desist to stop this action. So I'd like to get the answers now so we don't have to do that.
So just to clarify.
Nobody knows
this
how
bud-
much the total budget is?
So the expenditures is $641,146. And
For
this
the year.
for the year. And this budget was
Thank you.
posted online and available at our Washington station for review.
Well, people don't have time to drive all the way over to the Washington station all day long to look at your books. That's why you put it online. You guys
It is
chose to
online.
have these meetings online.
Yeah, it's
So-
online on our website.
Okay, so the incentive reimbursements, there's no explanation of what that is in regards to. Also, how do you determine how much you're going to be budgeting for lawsuits? I don't see that on your budget, and because there's going to be 3 of them coming up real quick. And then finally, let's see here, you gotta, okay. So professional services was $341,642. I need to know what exactly was those professional services for.
So that was last year's budget. This year's budget's projected at $404,779.
And what is it for?
The professional services, numerous items within the city budget that is paid for half by the city and half by the district. I could share that on the screen if you just give me one moment.
I'm glad that it's shared half by the city and half by the county or whatever, but that doesn't tell me what it's for.
No problem. I'll pull that up if you just give me a moment.
And then finally, when do you guys expect to start having these meetings in person again? Because this online stuff, it's really getting old and it's not conducive for public information.
That is a question I'm not sure about. I don't know if Chief Gillespie can help out with that question, or.
How can you answer that question?
You're on mute, Bill.
Well, you just open up the meetings to the public.
We have not set a date yet when it goes back to in-person full room meetings. I anticipate that is coming up fairly soon, later this summer, possibly by August.
So I have shared on the screen, this is the city budget. And you can see the different services. So this is district share and columns AP and AQ. You can see.
But what is it? I can't even see it.
If you'd like, if you could send an email request, I'd be more than happy to send it over to you.
I think I'm going to request it right now. So all you have to do is send me a copy of this budget.
Okay. No problem.
And that's unfortunate because, like I said, this is supposed to be information for the public. It's not for just you guys.
Yeah,
That's
why
how we
posted
get
it online.
informed, and that's why we ask questions.
And we're more than happy to answer those questions. I will get that emailed over to you.
Oh, one more. Does the county approve of your budget? Or do you guys just decide to approve of your budget? Who approves I know the board has to approve the budget, but where does it go from there?
As a special district, it's just adopted by our board members.
Okay.
I think her 3 minutes is up.
Budget in front of the county, it would pass.
Is there any more public comment, Linda, or
No, I see here you got $1 million. Is that what you're proposing your budget to be this next year?
no? We're proposing the budget at, sorry, hold on, let me pull that back up. The total expenditures for this upcoming fiscal year would be $641,146.
Thank you. That's it.
And you can find a copy of that on our website as well. I feel like I can see you talking, but you're muted, so I don't know what you're saying.
I tried to pull it up today. I wouldn't be asking these questions if I could have pulled it up. There was nothing on your site for this budget. It had the engineer's report, it had your ordinance and your resolution and something else. I don't know what else, but
And I
it
believe
didn't have
we're
a
at,
budget.
in excess of the 3 minutes. We need to go to the next person.
Okay. So Thomas Barnes, you're our other public participant, so I don't know if you had anything you wanted to say on this particular item, or
I have no comments. Thank you, though.
okay. All right,
Anything
so
else, and it would go back
Any-
to the board.
Yeah, any other comments? No other comments from the public? If not, do I hear a motion to adopt the preliminary budget?
I make a motion that we adopt the preliminary budget for this next year.
Okay. Is there a
I second that motion.
All right, any discussion? If not, all in favor, aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. You don't need to take a poll vote on that, do you, Vanessa? Okay. All right, we'll move on to item 4, old business. I don't really think we have any at this time. So we'll move on to item 5, Chief's report.
No
Update on
update this
current
evening.
matters.
No update this evening?
Okay. Item 6, board comments. Anything that we need to put on the next agenda or matters that of concern? If none, we'll move on to item 7. Do I hear a motion for adjournment?
I make a motion that we adjourn.
We are adjourned. Thank you.